huge round of applause for Sam J. Jones!
Thanks for showing up. This looks like my pulpit. Hey, let's hear it for Chris. What do you say? Come on, Chris, give it up. I love that little, what do you call that? That shizzle reel, man. That's pretty cool, yeah. Well, I had sort of a mean, angry walk on that SG-1 bounty hunter guy, right? Was that cool? That guy meant business, didn't he? Huh? So good, well, thanks for coming out, all right? And I'm sure you could have gone to other panels. No, because this is the only scheduled panel right now. Yeah, cool. There's a lot of empty seats out there, but thank you for showing up. This is great. It's good to be in. I always have to think before I say it's good to be in. I remember saying it because remember I travel every weekend. I do a different event if I'm not filming. So I remember one time I said it's so cool to be here with you guys in Dallas, Texas. And one guy said, Sam, you're in Knoxville, Tennessee, man. Okay. So it's great to be in Salt Lake City, and I'm here to answer any questions you got. There's just 3 things I can't talk about. They told you that, right? I can't talk about the movie business or Comic Cons or my personal life. Other than that, whatever you want to talk about. We got it. It's a joke. Yeah, you get it. Come on, that's funny. Well, I love these guys. Let's give it up for the camera techs and the whole crew. This is pretty cool. We're making a movie. Yes, look at that. Isn't that great? Thank you. All right, we got the cranes. Where's the Steadicam? Well, this could do the same thing, isn't it? So let me ask you this. If this is the first time you've been to Salt Lake City for FanX, raise your hand, first time. Wow. Okay, and the rest of you? Raise your hand if you've been here many times. Isn't this off the charts? And I'm not just saying that to tickle Dan Farr's ears, the owner and the team, but I've done in the past 7.5 years, I'm not embellishing this, I've done 225 plus cons, 40 a year, and then COVID hit. But yeah, and the reason why I'm telling you this is I got a pretty good feel about what goes on and how it works and what doesn't work at a Comic Con. And let me tell you something, this one right here, what Dan Farr and his team does, it's a class act. It really is, man. And aren't you guys excited about coming out, right? Being part of fandom and community, and someone finally said to you, hey, you can leave your house now, okay? You can get out. Leave your home, turn the TV off, and get outside and get to the con. I love it, man. I love it. So come on, let's have some questions. Otherwise, we're going to have a push-up contest. Come on. Oh, and don't worry, there's no such thing as a bad question. But if it's a strange question, you will drop and give me 50 push-ups. Yes, you will, okay? What's your name?
My name's Jared. Thank you for coming, sir. I like Flash Gordon better than the original Star Wars.
Ooh, wow. Oh, that's a bold statement.
It's so colorful and beautiful, and Star Wars is just gray and boring. Anyway. My question, I'm going to get beat up afterwards.
You're going to get beat to a pulp, buddy, okay? With some good post-COVID loving hugs, okay?
I'll take that. I need that as much as I can. Please tell us a story about working with Brian Blessed. And if I may say, Gordon's alive.
Yeah, Gordon, no, Brian's the best. I mean, when he walks on the stage, wherever he walks on, he takes the entire room by storm, but in a good way. And the last, we were in Liverpool in March of 2020. So right before COVID. Yeah, we knew something was happening because there were a few people, some of the actors were not shaking hands with the fans. And I thought, well, that's kind of odd. And then all of a sudden the next day, I guess they found out that they knew before we did. But no, Brian is incredible. We had a room like this, our panel. Every seat was full, and every time, we've probably done maybe 10 or 12 cons together. And we have this unique chemistry on stage. And we never rehearsed it. It just evolved this way. So whether it's Melody and myself and Brian, right, we start here. And once you give the microphone, we all have our own individual mics. But once you give the mic to Brian, he gets up, he comes down here, and he'll get into he'll start telling some nasty, nasty jokes. He loves the F word, you know. He talks about and he incorporates somehow, he incorporates that into talking about the Queen of England. And it works, okay? Nothing derogatory about her, but just, anyway. So he'll get into a 10-minute monologue. And then every 10 minutes he'll look back at me and or Melody and say, hey, isn't Sam and Melody beautiful? Now back to me. That's our Q&A. That's our panel. And it's crazy, it works. And every now and then when he gets a little tired, you know, he gets a little fatigued when he literally sings Pavarotti. He sings Pavarotti a cappella, only for about 30 seconds. And then he has to sit down, okay? And that's when I get the mic and I get a chance. So he gets to rest for about 60 seconds. And I try to get in, you know, a 20-minute monologue in 60 seconds, okay? But no, he's incredible. He was like that in 1979 on the film, on the set of Flash Gordon in London. And he's like that. Now he's almost 85. I can't wait to get back over there. Now, I organized last year the 40th anniversary tour. And the good thing about the tour, where you're saying, Sam, why are you doing the 40th anniversary in 2021? Well, Flash Gordon opened Christmas 1980 and carried over into 81. So guess what? I get the 40th anniversary last year and this year. But yeah, come on, man. So, but I organized, I put together Brian and my two leading ladies, Melody Anderson and Ornella Muti, right? I mean, signed on the dotted line, contracted, traveled the world all of last year and this year, and then of course, COVID hit. I had Timothy Dalton too. Oh. Well, I shouldn't say I had him. I wanted him. I wanted him to be part of that because he's iconic. But he's not signed before, so maybe during this post-COVID time, we can get him on board, you know? How we do that? Oh, look at it. Okay, did I answer your question?
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy, yeah. Now, tell me your name again?
Jared.
Jared, okay. Security team, Jared. He's going to have to be escorted the rest of the time he's here for what he just said about Star Wars?
Yeah.
Yeah, ooh, okay, good luck. You do know I'm sure you know the history, right?
Absolutely.
Right, that George Lucas wanted to do Flash Gordon. He wanted to do Flash Gordon. So he went to buy the rights, but King Features wouldn't sell it. I have my own theory why they wouldn't do it. Because Dino De Laurentiis, you know, I think he called King, this is just my opinion. I don't like opinions, but this is my mindset. I think what really happened is that he called King Features, who owns Flash Gordon, the rights. He said, if anybody tries to call you, okay, everybody tries to call you about acquiring the rights, you tell them no, because I'm going to do that movie. And I think that's what happened. I really do. Because if you look at the similarities, right? You look at Star Wars, you look at Flash Gordon, woo, we got some similarities. Now, I will say this. People ask me all the time, when you describe Flash Gordon, how do you describe it? You know, it's camp, it's corny, it's fun, but really for me, it's a visual masterpiece. It really is. Star Wars is more action and just a lot of things happening and incredible characters that were created and all that, and the intergalactic and but yeah, so that's how I describe it. But anyway, God bless you. God's protection over you as you walk these hallways, okay?
Thank you.
You know what? I say, just get it done, Jared. Just put on a Flash Gordon, t-shirt that says, better than Star Wars. And just end it right away. Just get it over with right away. Why torture yourself? Go ahead, young man.
Hi, Sam. My name is Ethan. And my question for you is, what are your thoughts on the upcoming live-action Flash Gordon film?
Yeah, is that cool? And you know his name? Who's doing it, right? Tell me his name.
Taika Waititi.
What? Say it again.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi, right? Yeah, that's how I see it. I do that because I mispronounce his first name all the time. I say Tiaka. No, it's Taika Waititi.
I'm probably mispronouncing it.
No. I always have people do that. Yeah, you know what's cool about that? Let me just tell you the quick history. There's this strange thing about, we filmed Flash Gordon 41 years ago, 1979, right? So, okay, now I signed for 5 or 6 sequels. I forgot what the number was. We haven't done. There's not been another Flash Gordon movie. It's no rhyme or reason why, but usually you'll hear a producer say, hey, I heard you're doing a movie. Yeah, it's in development. Usually that vernacular means they don't have the money. They don't have the money. My project's in development. In other words, I need money. But the crazy thing about a sequel, all these 35 years when they started talking about another sequel, it's the craziest thing. It's the craziest thing. Everybody that signed on that acquired the screenplay rights to produce the movie, we're talking about reputable people. I think the first guy was Stephen Summers, Van Helsnick. He acquired the rights, did not follow through on the option. I think the next guy was Neil Moritz, all the Fast and Furious. So we're not talking about people that didn't have money or prestige or a reputation. I think, and then Fox Studios 6 years ago. Fox Studios. They called me in. They said, we're gonna do live action Flash Gordon, and what do you want to do? I said, well, yeah, let's look at the script and figure out, how I could fit in. I could be Flash, I could be the dad, whatever. They spent 6 years in development. Okay, they brought in some huge names, Matthew Vaughn, right, John Davis. And what's happened? I know it's a long answer, but I want you to hear the history. This is a very good point. So finally, Disney bought Fox. Well, was it less than a year ago? Okay, and Disney said, "Oh, we're not going to do it." Now they own Fox. Oh, by the way, that Flash Gordon deal, we're not going to do a live action. We're going to do a animated version. And they brought in Waititi, right, to do an animated version. So now for the past, it's been 8 months, they brought him on board, and he's been looking at that. Now this is not what I heard, this is me as the creative guy thinking about him and what he's done and being a creative guy. And they go, I signed on to do the first Flash Gordon movie since Sam Jones did it 41 years ago. Oh my gosh, and they want me to do an animated version? No, I'm doing a live action, baby. So that's where it is right now. And hopefully there's no more, waiting period. But the reason why I said that is most people, when they use the language of the vernacular, my project is in development, means they don't have the money. But all these the case studies and the examples that I mentioned, they all had the reputation, they all had the money. So hopefully now it'll be done. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm John.
Hey, John, didn't I see you earlier? No?
Well, we've actually met a few years ago.
Uh-oh.
And
come on, let's hear it. Is it a good story?
actually, yes.
No, Sam, your arm wrestling me and you broke my arm. Look, what happened?
What the heck? So you did a live commentary of Flash Gordon at a local movie theater.
At a screening, that was so difficult.
Oh, was it?
No, to talk while the movie's on.
I just want to say
That was
the coolest fan experience I've ever had.
That's great, man, yeah.
And I guess my questions are more of a request, is an encore request, if that's something you'd consider doing again.
I would, but let me tell you the dynamics or the difficulty. Usually I do the screenings with the fans. I've probably only done 12, right? 12 over all these years. And I'll come in, I'll introduce the movie, and then the movie plays, and then I sit out there and eat popcorn, and then I come back up and I do a Q&A. But someone asked me for the first time to do a live play-by-play commentary, sitting in the audience with you, with the microphone, and speaking. So what's the difficulty? Well, for the fans who've never seen it before, it's hard not to interrupt the actors on the screen. You know, it's hard. I'm trying to do the timing and say something, but I want the fans who've never seen the movie, I want them to hear the dialogue. So the difficult part for me was being able to speak, and I wasn't commenting so much on, okay, this is the scene right now. There's Timothy and I on the battle disc. I was primarily, correct me if I'm wrong, I was telling stories about what was going on behind the scenes at the same time. Yeah, that's the part I loved. But again, it was difficult for the first timers. I wanted them to hear the dialogue.
Quite honestly, you played it off like you've done it several times.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it was just, it was hard. So, just a little rabbit trail here, as my wife would say. I'm not allowed to go to movie theaters anymore, you know, because I mentioned, you know, when we go to a movie, we want to hear the dialogue, right? We want to hear the actors. Well, I think the last time my wife allowed me to go to a movie was maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Three years ago. Why? Because look, if you want to bring your own food, okay, that you cook from home, fine. If you want to wrap it up in 20-year-old tinfoil or Reynolds wrap, okay, then fine. But open your freaking Reynolds wrap in your tinfoil, right, during the opening battle scene, okay? But don't sit there for an hour through the movie and slowly open up your tinfoil and I'm sorry, you know, right? Am I right? See, you understand that, but my wife doesn't understand that, right? So what do I do? Remember, I've been an actor for 45 years. I've been a Marine next year for 50 years in my mind. So I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to give the people behind me, you know, give them a couple minutes. You know, it depends on. So okay, the battle scene. I look over my corner of my eye. They're not eating during the battle scene. The battle scene's over, right? Now they start to open up the tinfoil. I'm sitting here. I'm going like, rrr. And it's a whole family of them. It's a whole family. It's the mom, the dad, the 16-year-old daughter, and the little 12-year-old boy. And the 16-year-old, I'm just guessing she's 16 because I got 5 kids. I'm pretty good at guessing. And she starts to do this, and the actors on the screen are talking like this. They're kind of whispering, okay? So we as the viewing audience need to hear what they're saying. So she got in now, 10, 15 minutes have gone by. She's doing the tinfoil again. And I turn around and I said, dear, I know you can't say dear nowadays, but I said, dear, can you eat a little bit quieter so I can hear the dialogue on the screen? And then all of a sudden, you could hear a pin drop. In the whole theater, by the way, right? Because, you know, when you hold something in, you know, and then you go to communicate it, it doesn't come out like this. It comes out like, dear, can you eat a little quieter, please? I didn't realize, you know. So all of a sudden, dead silence. There's no sound. And then the daughter turns to her dad and says, Daddy, was that loud man talking to me? The daddy didn't say anything. I turned around and said, yes, I was, dear. That was me. So that's the last time I was allowed to go to the movie theater. Come on! Eat all the food. Bring pork chops. Bring what you want. Don't wrap it up in tin foil. Okay? Don't make any sound. Everybody paid their tickets. Anyway, that's I can go on and on about that. You can tell I get a little passionate about that, right? No, okay, I know what. So about a week later, my brother-in-law was visiting from out of country. And my wife said, look, he wants to see a movie. But I told him how you are with people eating at the movie theater. I said, honey, I give you my word as your husband and as a man, I will not say a word no matter what happens. And guess what happened? So we all went, my family, most of my kids, my brother-in-law, and we're sitting in this whole front row, and this man starts eating right behind my brother-in-law. I kept my mouth shut, didn't say a word. I looked at my brother-in-law, guess what's happening with him? He's starting to lose it. And he knew my story, right? And he couldn't help it. He turned around and said, that's enough. You cannot eat anymore like that. So I'm proud to say, I was a man of my word. I bit my tongue. Somebody else got to experience the torment. The torment, man. Are you kidding me? This is torment. Okay.
Sam, you worked in an era when it was all practical effects.
I'm sorry, I only caught one word, and that was Sam. Oh, yeah, sorry. Say it
When you
again.
filmed Flash Gordon, it was during an era of practical effects.
Practical effect. Well, the blue screen is what we did. Yeah, you're right. Practical effects. Yes.
Were any of those actually terrifying to film?
Terrifying to be part of. You mean like dangerous?
Yes.
No, I mean, the battle disc scene. You know, the battle disc. Remember that? When it was elevated. I mean, other than rolling around and those spikes, which were actually hollow. They were bicycle pumps. They were converted from to a normal standard bicycle pump, and that's what they were. And then they had the hard rubber. But you don't want to roll on them. You would get scratched up, but it would shut down production because you roll on them, you're going to break them. You had 3 guys working hydraulics. You know, 3 guys working the whole system. 2 guys working different sections of hydraulics with the spikes, and 1 guy operating the tilt. So really the only dangerous thing, and we rehearsed so much, it was really a choreographed dance. But once we had the Brit and the Yankee, you know, once we promised each other, okay, now we're using a real bullwhip, by the way. It was a real bullwhip. We were trained by, you ready for this? A bullwhip master. Oh yes. You've not experienced life until you've been trained by a bullwhip master. Because they wanted the sound, they wanted the crackle and the pop. So Timothy and I, we choreographed this, we got our distance, and during that time, we made a promise to each other. You know, we're gonna get cut up and scratched up, but we do not want to bullwhip each other. Now that we're trained by a professional bullwhip master. Now we had the other dynamic of the danger in its highest elevation. When it was tilted, it was about a 25-foot fall, maybe 23, who knows. But when I first got there, we were tilted, and the stuntman was there, and I said, wow. I said, you know, you don't have any foam or any airbags. You have stacked boxes. Those are boxes that you want us to fall on. He goes, yeah, mate. I said, show me. He says, what do you mean? I said, just jump on those boxes. I want to see this. You fucking boxes. My first time, right? So all of a sudden, he goes, yeah, watch. And he jumps, and you hear on impact, you hear, ugh! I said, what was that? He goes, oh, on impact, the corners of the boxes go into your rib cage. I said, okay. But what's quite unique about that is the boxes do where they're stacked in an offset. So when you do fall on them, okay, which I did a lot of times, is it does, yeah, it hurt, right? But right after that, they take on the perfect mold of your body. So it's a fascinating study. And then, of course, every time I fell, they would they take big boxes, and they just kick them and punch them and put them back in shape, and we do it again. But here was the deal with Timothy and I. So that was the only dangerous part. I mean, it's, you know, it worked. So when we started the fight scene, right? Remember, we still, this is 1979, so I never understood why, you know, my grandpa, you know, there was always some tension, contempt, let's say, between the Brits, the English and the Americans, the Brits and the Yankees, right? And I said, but weren't they our allies during the war? He goes, yeah, but you don't understand. So I fixed that real quick. I invited my grandpa to London when I was filming, because, you know, he never spent time with he was not in the war, by the way. And he was talking like that. So I said, I'm bringing you to London. You're gonna go meet some Englishmen, and you're gonna go to the pubs, and you're going to party with them. No, I won't be doing that. I won't be doing that, grandson. I said, yes, you will. I'm flying you and grandma over, and guess what happened? After the second day, we had to send search parties out for him to visit all the pubs. I'm not making this up, because he hit it off so well with the English, right? The camaraderie, that he fixed that. He corrected. We put a remedy on that rumor he heard, right? There was no That was just something made up. So, cutting back to Timothy and I, you got the Brit, you got the Yankee, and now we're getting ready to war and battle. Because we're trained by the bullet master, right? Yeah, you like that, huh? That's called a motif, right there. And all of a sudden, we're doing good. He takes his bullwhip and he actually hit me across my chest. And I looked at him and I took a beat. This was the real deal, okay? This was the real deal now. And I looked at him and he kind of gave me an apologetic sign, but because we're still in character, he also gave me the eye. The eye was, okay, Yankee, Brit, game on, baby, let's go. So we brought that reality of that rumor, or that false rumor that was spread, over all those years. But it's a cool thing. The fact, I mean, a lot of things happen. The fact that my grandpa had this great healing. Never listen to rumors, by the way. You got to go straight to the horse's mouth. This is the light bulb moment about something, any story, any rumor. We need to go to the source and stop, especially a rumor like that. And my grandpa was a changed man after that. And the fact that Timothy and I, we used it though. We pulled from it, and that helped both of our characters. It was just incredible to see that. And we talk about going to bars here. I don't think a lot of people drink in Salt Lake. That's okay. I don't drink hard liquor, if that means anything. My dad drank whiskey for 50 years. I don't touch hard liquor. I like a little red wine. But we talk about going to bars in America. Let me tell you, oh yeah, this bar was built in 1891. Let me tell you something. The pubs and the bars I go to in England or Scotland or Ireland, you ready for this? And when I walked in and I saw built in 1550, the year 1550, and I looked at it and I said, oh my God. He goes, Sam, that's nothing. We got pubs built in the 1200s. I said, what? Take me there right now. I want some of that. So that was, yeah, it was, I mean, if you get a chance, go to the UK, go to the Scotland and Ireland and England and all that. Come on, who's next, man?
Thank you.
Is that cool? Yeah.
Hey there, Sam. How you doing?
Hey, good. I met you earlier.
Yeah, I was at that same Broovies screening.
Well, you were. That's great.
I sat right in front of you, actually. Love to come, and like the other guy said, love to come.
Did I kick your chair?
No, you didn't.
Okay.
So my question was, Flash Gordon was just a visual spectacle. It was beautiful. Costumes were incredible. So my question for you is, in all these costumes and stuff that you had, what was like your favorite costume, really made you feel in character? Was there a costume that was like particularly uncomfortable? And what commentary can you offer on the costumes that your co-actors had to wear?
I felt bad that I only got to wear the green leather hot pants only for a few minutes. The execution scene. Are you kidding me? 1979. I'm wearing no shirt on. I'm wearing green patent leather hot pants. Are you kidding me? No, I think about that. They were hot pants, right? I guess they were, right? The green. It was my execution scene, right? It was crazy. So, I mean, my favorite costume, I think, was the sort of Michael Jackson, but really, the Flash T-shirt. What is your first name?
Matthew.
What is it?
Matthew.
Right. It's like saying, Matthew, you got the shirt on, it says Matthew. Okay? Here I am playing Flash Gordon, and my costume is Flash. I mean, think about that. That's crazy, right? So, and here's the cool thing about that Flash shirt. We had about 10 made, right? And they were all, 9 of them were tweaked and ripped from those scenes I described. I forgot to mention, on the battle disc and the little sizzle reel that you saw me rolling on the floor, well, the battle disc was painted silver. The paint had not dried yet. Timothy's wearing a green wardrobe. I'm wearing my tank top, red and black. Silver. So that's it. On the floor rolling, I think that was black. I had the white t-shirt and the gray slacks. So you figure that out, okay? Where was it? So guess what? The 9 Flash shirts were tweaked and gone. Guess who owns the only actual Flash shirts Yes, sir, I got that puppy, yeah. And you know what's crazy? Now it was a t-shirt. So my brother-in-law again said, Sam, as I started pulling, we just moved, so I started pulling boxes out. I realized I had this incredible Flash Gordon collection, right? Comic books, action, everything. Comic books, action figures. Even got a Flash Gordon Harley Davidson. I got a Flash Gordon pinball machine, you name it. And I said, okay, the Flash t-shirt has been in a garment bag for 41 years. So I said, okay, so I'm cataloging everything, meaning cataloging it and professional photographer, you know, take it, documenting everything. So I take the shirt out and I want to put it on a mannequin, right? So I got to be delicate, right? Because it's 41 years old. So I put the Flash shirt on this mannequin. I had to get almost like a female mannequin because I forgot, you know, I mean, I was probably 212 back then. I'm probably 227 right now, maybe a little more. And this t-shirt on this mannequin, I said, oh my gosh, as I am touching the t-shirt, I forgot. I didn't realize at the time, this is a normal white t-shirt that they hand painted. All the red was hand painted. But the unique thing about it, you ready for this? It was custom altered to fit my body. A t-shirt, you know how men sometimes get a shirt, let's get that shirt tapered. This t-shirt was the Italians. Do you know how the Italian wardrobe department? They tapered this t-shirt tight. So my wife said, you want to try it on? Oh no, I'm not going to try that puppy on. So anyway, I didn't realize, so that was a realization of me. Oh my God, they actually custom made my t-shirts, you know, altered them on the side. I didn't know that. How many have ever taken your t-shirt? Okay, honey, take all my t-shirts, take them to the tailor. We're going to get them all, you know, trimmed down, form fitting, you know, do the Stallone thing, yeah. Now they call it the Flash Gordon Flash shirt alteration. Yeah, light bulb moment. So yeah, so I got this really cool collection now. I didn't know I had it. I had 700 boxes. I'm watching American Pickers. Who likes American Pickers? Come on. Like you mean it, come on. So I had a light bulb moment for me. And this is a good little story. I'll try to make it quick. And it's for all of us guys. Guys, especially us that like to hang on to stuff, right? If you got like a couple hundred boxes, this will change your life right now. This will change your life. I mean that. So I'm watching American Pickers. Mike and Frank show up on a property. There's an older guy comes out in an electric car. He's 85 years old, right? He's got about 20 cars midway through their restorations. 1930s, 1940s, 50s, 60s. Okay, cars that are not quite complete yet, okay? But they're still worth a lot of freaking money. A lot of money. And Mike and Frank said, how much you want for the whole collection? 85-year-old guy, what do you think he says? Oh, it's not for sale. And they said, why? What do you think his answer was? I'm going to finish the restorations. I'm screaming at the TV, you're lying! Yeah. You're going to die! I'm not going to fight, you're going to come back and give your sons a penny on the dollar! Yeah. Right now they're willing to give your sons, 30 to 40 to 50 cents on the dollar, right? In other words, you're going to be a burden to your children when you leave this world. Here's my light bulb moment. I thought, oh my God, I've got 700 boxes. Do I want to be a burden to my children, my grandchildren? So guess what? It took me 2 years. Because I'm very, you know, I'm all those acronyms you can think of. OCD, OSS, even ones that haven't even come up with. Just make them up. I'm all those. Because I like to do things meticulous. Like you're not standing on that mark. Get on that mark perfectly. There you go. Okay. That was crazy. You're eating too loud behind me. Okay. So where was it? Okay, 700 boxes. So we need to ask ourselves, when we leave this earth, okay, and our wives and or our children, if our wives have put up with us this long so far, but our children, when they go in and open up the boxes, are we going to be, every box they open, is it going to be a nice little blessing and treasure for our kids and our grandkids? Or is it going to be a freaking burden where they don't even know what it is. I made 4 piles after that light bulb moment with Mike and Frank. I did throwaway, giveaway, keep, figure it out a little bit later. Oh, this is a freaking collection. I didn't even know I had this Flash Gordon, because people give me gifts for years, 40 years. And oh, I got a collection here. So it took me 2 years. I went from 700 boxes down to about 70. It's primarily because they're mainly collections. Again, action figures and all that. And I went out and I bought the heavy-duty banker boxes. You know banker boxes? Yeah, it's heavy-duty though. It's not, it's the heavy-duty cardboard. I labeled every single one. So when I leave this earth, and they go, okay, yeah, and I told my kids, when you talk about me, I want you to tell jokes about me. Tell me about some funny stories. Dad, I know you thought, and here's what my kids, Dad, I know you thought you've been funny your whole life, but it really is our children, let's be honest, you're not that funny, just to tell you. But every box, so when I leave this earth, and they go to open up a box up in the loft or, in some room in a closet somewhere, it's going to be labeled, and every box they open up is going to be a treasure for them and their children's children. Yeah, whether it be original Flash Gordon action figures or action figures from the other current actors right now or the past 40 years, comic books, you name it. You got the pinball machine, the Flash Gordon Harley. But when it comes to the Flash t-shirt, ooh, what are they going to do? Well, that would be the only, if it is a burden, they're going to figure out what to do. But that was my light bulb moment for, guys, getting our lives in order. When we leave this earth, let's be a blessing to everybody. So, we want to do that. I can tell you one thing, the neighbors across the street, the mama died, and they had to come in. And the dad had died earlier, and he didn't, in their 90s, and they didn't do anything with the stuff. So here was this lady in her 60s, the daughter, asking for my advice. I said, well, I'm kind of finishing up what I'm doing, what you're about to do right now. She said everything was junk. And she said, but even if it was like high-end stuff, expensive stuff, we don't even know that. We don't know what they have. Nothing was labeled. So that's not where we want to go, guys. We want to be labeled. Yeah, and have a little bit OCD. It's okay. It's okay. Be a little bit more, organized than anybody else. But we want to leave. Everybody says, I want to leave a legacy. Well, I want to leave organized little treasure boxes for my kids and my grandchildren. I think it's good.
Thank you.
Yeah. How are we doing on time? We good?
2 minutes.
That's Chris. Chris, come on out here and take the stage with me. Come here. He's going to ask me a question, and then I want them to ask me 2 more, okay? But I'll make my answers really quick.
Okay.
I want you to ask me a question.
All right, well, I have to say this. So I told you a story yesterday. When Flash Gordon came out in theater, my mom took me to see it 3 times in the movie theater, guys, because she is in love with him, so she's freaking out right now. But the scene in the movie that kind of has scarred me, I think it's
Scarred you?
Yes. The scariest thing I've ever seen in film, to this day, is when you had to put your hand in that lock. Do you guys understand what I'm talking about? That was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. That was so much fun. Was it fun to do? Was it amazing?
I'm sorry I traumatized you. But that was real, because I turned to the prop man. Remember, we just walked into that sound stage, first time in 2 weeks. I turned to the prop guy. I said, have you examined down in that tree stump? He said, no, we don't know what's in there. So he yelled. Anyway, 2 quick questions and 2 quick answers. Come on.
My question is, what was your favorite part about working on Stargate?
Oh, in SG1 was my favorite part.
What was your favorite part?
Gosh, I mean, just, being with them, it was a successful show. Really cool being in Vancouver. I don't know if you've been to Vancouver. You got to go to Vancouver, Canada. I mean, I call it one of the wonders of the world. I mean, if you think about it, the sun, the ocean, the snow, the mountains, it's all there. And then those trees, they have those trees as though you're on a different planet. Those big green sequoia ivy. Where'd Chris go? I don't know why he left. Anyway, I'm sorry I traumatized you, Chris. Yeah, so just being there and being asked to do that, that was the best part. Okay, one more question and then I gotta go, otherwise I'm gonna get...
Hey Sam, how you
buddy.
doing? My name's Will. I've been wanting to meet you ever since I was a little kid. You've always reminded me of my brother, and my brother passed away when I was about 6 years old. And I've watched Flash Gordon probably 200 times.
And he means that, you literally 200 times.
And so, I mean, I just got married today.
You got married today? Well, brother, congratulations, and can I ask you, what the hell took you so long? What are you doing, man? Got to find the right person.
Yeah, I found the right girl. And out there.
Oh, congratulations, that's wonderful. You got a good man with a tender heart, you know that. You know that.
So, I know you said one question, so got two really easy ones. I mean, I guess
I'll
maybe.
give quick answers because I think there's somebody else backstage. I think it's Dolph Lundgren waiting to come on, okay?
Yeah, right.
I've actually had to sign his autograph 3 times. That's another story. Go
That's
ahead.
terrible. So, like, I always want to know, what number was Flash Gordon for the New York Jets?
Yeah, I'm sorry, what number?
Yeah, what number was it?
Number 19.
He was number 19.
That's right, number 19, right?
That's what I thought, but I wasn't.
I have the
100%
trading
sure.
card on my table.
Oh man, I wish I had.
Yeah, that's my character. Flash Gordon, quarterback, New York Jets, number 19.
And it's really
Ooh,
weird.
that sounded good. Should I do that one more time?
Yes.
Flash Gordon, quarterback, New York Jets, number 19.
Yeah, I always, my brother was a huge New York Jets fan too.
So just be clear, when you were 6 years old, your brother sort of turned you on to Flash Gordon.
Yep.
That's
and
incredible.
then he passed away also when I was 6.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, man.
No.
I lost a brother. If you saw my documentary, I lost my brother. He was 21, I was 20. Yeah, it's devastating, man.
Yeah, he was 24.
Wow.
But my other question is, being in the movie Ted, which when I saw you in Ted, I literally like went to the bathroom almost by myself. It was the most awesome thing ever. And has anybody ever come up and like been like that mental insane about Flash Gordon and actually ever ask you to marry them before?
No, I've received requests to marry people right now. You know, because of Ted. And I tell them I'm not qualified. And I said, why would you want, you want to get either a judge or a real preacher to marry you. But no, because of the movie, a lot of people thought that I have the right to marry them. But I don't, But you know what? You touched my heart with your story because I'm 67 now. So at my table, I'll get every age demographic. I get granddad, son, grandson, grandma, daughter, granddaughter. And this is your time, all of you. This is your time to tell me your story. And you're telling me your story right now. It touches my heart. It really does. And you've heard, and your story was life-changing. A lot of stories I'm hearing now, what you're sharing this, some of the fans, including you, this is the first time you've shared this. I've got other stories where I actually, not me personally, but my character of the movie actually prevented them from taking their lives. They heard that, they tell me at my table right now, Sam, when I was 12 years old, I came from abusive parents, and I heard this voice say, go into the bedroom and take your life. And right when I went to do that, this other voice came on and said, shut up. Before you do that, put on that VHS of that superhero guy. When you come to my table, I always have sunglasses there because I get to, I'm a big old Marine crybaby, right? And this man, it's the first time he shared this because he was at my table 30 seconds ago. His wife and 3 kids were with him. He kind of gave them the eye and they went that way. Now he's sharing with me the first time in his life, his story, that. And he turned to me and said, Sam, when I put that tape in, you not only gave me hope to live, you gave me value as a human being. And I just, I'm just all teary-eyed and losing it. So we hear stories, oh, you hear some athletes say, oh, I'm not a role model. Well, guess what, buddy? Whether we like it or not, we are role models, so we need to be a little bit careful on our behavior and what we say. Here's the significance of that life saved, this 45-year-old man. Here's the significance. Not only is he still in this world, but the wife and those 3 beautiful kids are non-existent. Had he not listened to that second voice, what I call the voice of reason, or the voice of God, who basically says, shut up, you can make it in this life, you have purpose, God put you on this earth to bring value to other people, so you can be instrumental in saving their life too. And now look at them, successful. It's wonderful. And thank you for sharing. You keep sharing your heart, man. It does save lives, and we need that nowadays, don't we? We need to build people up and encourage each other. Yeah.